This video is sponsored by me. I've got my first ever merch store. We've got this cool panels t-shirt in 3 colours. We got stickers, a mug. Okay, I have to explain this one. In the UK, the word mug is a name for a stupid person. So I made a mug that says a complete and utter mug. It's funny. If you've got a stub and blood spatter on the wall, then all your problems are solved with this official Luvie poster. And a collectible pin. I only have one right now and it's a limited run, so if you get it, then you'll have completed the collection. Now we're done with that. Last year I almost caught rabies and died. Okay, sit down. So a year ago, I accompanied my mum on a work trip to Shanghai, China. And while my mum went off to work in the day, little Lucy had the entirety of the biggest city in China right at her feet to explore. So where did I go? Anime Street. Travelled over 5,000 miles to look at bootleg anime figures. While I was leaving, I saw what I'm assuming was a stray cat in one of the side streets. I tried to pet it. Oh, hello. It was here I knew I'd made a mistake. I staggered around the streets of Shanghai with my bleeding hand, getting laughed at by the locals who were speeding past me on bicycles screaming the word hello. I sobbed into my phone display, using not Google Maps to try and find a pharmacy. I got out my translator app and put in the words antibacterial and plasters. In hindsight, plasters probably wasn't the best word to put into a translator. Do you even know what it means? It means band-aid. It's a UK thing. I showed my translator to the first pharmacy I found, and they looked really confused. They looked at my phone and said, "Don't have." Oh, okay. Thanks. Oh, stone me. Why did you just respond in English? Round 2. I showed the man at the second pharmacy my phone. He said a bunch of stuff in Chinese and just stared at me. I'm really sorry, I don't speak any Chinese. And then he waves at me. Bye. I was freaking out at the time, but looking back, I love that. If you're getting tired of a conversation, just wave at the other person to bring it to an end. Now, being honest, I'm not really that huge on Pokemon. Yeah, sure, they add gimmicks every now and then, but it's more or less just the same game every time. I don't get why... Are you waving at me? Lucy, we're really worried about you. Don't you think we should talk? Ha! Give me all your money! I thought it was weird that neither pharmacy had plasters, but looking back, what if they thought I was asking for building plaster? But I struck lucky the 3rd time. I had the genius idea of just showing the pharmacist a picture of what I wanted, and it worked! He was very kind and patient, and by the end I was a pathetic mess typing in, "Thank you so much for helping me," into my little translator. He will almost certainly never see this because YouTube is a little bit illegal in China, but random guy in Shanghai pharmacy, you have my immense gratitude. I cleaned everything up, but it wasn't until I got home a few days later that I realised. Wait, do they have rabies in China? I know this sounds inconceivably stupid, but in my defence, we don't have rabies in the UK. At all. We're not taught about it. I didn't know. I consulted Google, which I hadn't used at all when I was in China. And wow, guess what? Cats over there can have rabies. And yeah, sure, it's a lot less likely in urban areas and it didn't actually bite me, but the words I read were, "You might have rabies." Rabies is not something you mess around with. If you get bitten by a rabid animal, as long as you receive a number of vaccines within a certain window of time, you should be fine. But if you don't, and then you develop symptoms, you're dead. The fatality rate is 100%. The chances of me having rabies was very small, but I didn't want to wait to find out. I went to my local GP to try and find out how I could get a vaccine, and you want to know what happened? I told them everything, and no joke, they Googled cat scratch right in front of me. Do you know how I could go about getting a rabies vaccine? Don't know if you'd need one. I mean, you don't have any symptoms. No. I think I'd be a little bit dead. Do they have rabies in China? Maybe you should get one then. Yes, I know that one doctor is not a representation of the entire NHS, but if that cat did have rabies, and I'd just taken that doctor's word for it, I'd be dead. I think about that sometimes. So I did my own research and found a specialist place to get it done. I had to have 4 shots in total. I used to be needle phobic. Still don't really like them, but something about the knowledge that there's a chance I may die if I don't have this done kinda made it go away. You heard it here first. Lucy's surefire way to cure needle phobia. Just grab your nearest rabid animal and you're good to go. The first 3 shots were absolutely fine, and I barely felt them at all. The 4th one hurt. It was done by a different nurse, so I blame her. How dare she do her job and allow me to have vital healthcare for free. I appreciate you. I felt really dizzy after having the shot, and as the day went on, I got really sick. Woke up in the middle of the night, completely drenched and confused, like a small child trying to do the breaststroke. I'm just having a bad reaction to the shot. No. I had tonsillitis again. I was sick for another month. At least I don't have rabies. Wow, I think my standards have slipped when the best thing I can say is, at least I don't have rabies. Maybe I should put that on a shirt. Might not have that on a shirt, but I do have this shirt and this pin. I really like the pin. I'm sorry it has been so long since I've uploaded. I've had this video on the back burner for a few months now. I've been trying to be better with my Pokemon channel lately, and I have been making a lot of Luvie content just on TikTok. I have tons of stuff on there, so if you want to check me out, I am Luvie YT on there. If you really hate TikTok that much, then I now have a second channel, Little Luvie, where I post them there too. I already have more videos on that channel than I do on this one. Thanks so much for all the fan art. Most of this is from my birthday, which was at the end of July, so kind of gives you a sense as to how long it's been. A lot of the ideas I had for this year went up in flames with COVID, but I now have new ideas and I'm really looking forward to making them next year. Okay, that's it for now. Happy holidays, happy new year, love you and leave you. Bye! Here's my proof. I still have a little baby scar, like in between my thumb and my index finger, but it's mostly gone now. I call it the rabies scar. Alright, bye.